How are we doing today, you guys? How are you doing? How are you feeling? This is Chrissy with Tatted Hat Girl Reads, and we're going to make this one a quick and short video so you don't have to use up all of your time watching another booktube video. I want to talk about today what I'm currently reading and what I'm excited about coming out in February. Real simple video. Let's get in. So, Lightbringer, many of you know that I am really loving this book and that normally don't like Lysander. However, with a multiple perspective book, you have no choice but to go between characters every single chapter. At least most chapters, because sometimes Pierce Brown will go Darrow, Lysander, or Lysander, Lysander, Darrow. And it has been a fantastic time in this one. I'm going to be sad when this Lightbringer is over. There's a gold that I have found that I actually am enjoying more. I liked him in the beginning of the book, and then now I'm liking him again. And I hope Pierce Brown doesn't kill that by the end of this book. I hope he doesn't do anything to make me not like this gold. And then there is Lysander. He's even growing on me because I can see where he's coming from. I can see, the pain of things that have happened to you and how that will make you respond. And people respond differently to pain, and their upbringings. And that's Lysander and Darrow. They're literally day and night. Darrow is dealing with his good and evil side, being strong-armed or being tender-hearted. And you can see that coming through quite a bit through the Lightbringer book. I'm looking forward to getting the resolution of the series, but I'm also going to be extremely devastated when the series is over. I am roughly, I want to say 67% in, so a little bit further than last time that I talked about this book. In fact, I need to update the actual physical book because I'm reading it on Kindle. I can't recommend this series enough. You can read book 1 through 3 if you want and just be done with it. I recommend 4, 5, and 6, and then later book 7 when it comes out, because there is so much going on. It is just enthralling. You can't help but to immerse yourself in it. You don't feel like you're being subjected to spatial terms that you don't understand. Moons and Mars and Luna, it's not that complicated. And I have loved the simplicity of Pierce Brown's writing to where you can understand it, but it's impactful. I highlight so much in my Kindle in his books that are just like, wow. When I am reading his stuff, that is moving. And in Lightbringer itself, he is talking about, or he's been handed a book and he calls it The Path. So I'm assuming that's the title. I have tried to see if it's a real book, but I've only loosely looked. The one that I think it might be, I had my husband actually get it for me, and I will let you know if I think that's one of the same ones. I do a little bit more investigating, but it's basically your life path and how to respond and do things more differently and more intelligently and more holistically. And Darrow brings this book into reference throughout Lightbringer, and it was handed to him by a person that you'll see when you read the book. It has just been so good. And because he does mention this book called The Path, that I feel like I wonder if Pierce Brown is also on a journey, because his books are so insightful. I highly recommend his writing and his this whole series. I'm so curious what he's going to do when the series is done. Is he going to take some years off, or is he going to start another series that is nothing like this? Is he going to hop right into a series similar? I'm curious. I am looking forward to seeing what he does next. So let's talk about briefly the books that are coming out in February. The first book is Rebel Witch, which is book 2 to Heartless Hunter. And I bought this one through Book of the Month, and I am actually now a little worried that I'm not doing Rebel Witch through that because they won't match. But that's okay. And I'll link the books also for Amazon's links in the descriptions below. Whenever you see a link, it typically is an affiliate link. I do earn a little bit of money through that. So I do thank you for always using the links. I know you can just say Rebel Witch into your own account, but I do appreciate when you use my link specifically because it does help me. I am retired, and without a pension, so do have to still work. And this just happens to be something I love doing. Nightingale, Kristen Hanna. Many of you actually have already reviewed that book. Many of you have read it. If you haven't, I am with you. I have not read it. It is the special edition hardcover coming out. I own the paperback that I just bought, and then I saw that the special edition is coming out in 25. And I am thinking, I didn't write the date down for this. I'll try to put it in the description below. So But it is coming out in February. I can't remember the date. It's got to be after the 18th because I think Rebel Witch is the 18th. And then Nightingale comes after that one. So I'm going to guess the week after. Then also, this year has become more of a series year for me. It's funny. They kind of, each year of reading takes on its own little theme. And last year, it became witches. So Heartless Hunter, and then this year, Rebel Witch will leak into this year. And then there was just so many witch books. Sometime I'll do a video on all the witch books that I read for 24. And 25 has definitely proven that it's going to be about the series. And I'm not mad about that. I think that's fantastic. If you ever wonder what I am looking at, I do have my Remarkable that I look down for my notes because I don't want to forget to tell you something. I don't want to forget to share. I have a sporadic brain where I'll go on a tangent that's just like, ooh, where'd she go? Bring her back. And I write notes so I can remember where we're headed with this. But that's really it, you guys. I'm finishing up Lightbringer. I want to finish it up this weekend. I took too long because I was processing the trauma of dealing with saying goodbye to my 13-year-old cat, Jerry. Last week, we did an at-home service for hospice and then cremated him. So when we buy, we can take him with us. And I will tell you, that was so hard that I just had no energy. And I think the weeks leading up to it were probably worse than the week it actually happened. So I haven't really had the energy to read. Normally I would be on 2 or 3 books, and I am reading Assassin's Apprentice, or is it Apprentice Assassin? Assassin's Apprentice, and by Robin Hobb. And I am reading Way of the Kings by Brandon Sanderson. But I put both of those on pause because I want to give them the time they deserve, and my heart just hasn't been in it, and neither has my energy. School also started last week, the day we actually laid him to rest. Speaking of Jerry, school started. And so I'm back full-time online to UNCW, my last semester there, because I moved from North Carolina to Texas, and you can only be considered in-state tuition for so long after you move. I think it's up to a year is what the school was telling me, that they will allow me to stay a student as in-state tuition for 1 year. And it just so happens that after this semester, we go into summer. And while I could go to summer, I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and take the summer off before I make the decision. Am I going to transfer to a state or to a school system in Texas? It would be paid for thanks to my husband's service in the military, but I just don't know where I'm headed on that aspect of things right now. I want to be here more full time, and we're already doing the weekly videos, and I want to get into it more. And with school, that is actually hard. So my energy levels have also been very low in January between school and Jerry. But I'm hoping I'm thawing a little bit. It's still cold here. Snow is going on in Florida, North Carolina, where I came from, at the beach. And then now here in Texas, it's just insane how much snow is happening everywhere. If you live in one of these places that have gotten snow randomly, put it in the comments below. You don't have to put your neighborhood, just what state are you in? And I would love to know who else is getting random snow this year. I would also love to know what books you are reading right now, because I need someone to kind of motivate me throughout the year that, hey, you're reading all these things. I need to step it up too. So thank you for being here. Again, this is Christy with Tatted Hat Girl Reads. See you soon.